got my game from the Godfather. Top of the food chain, rock bottom. And handle my business when it was my problem. Jeep, flossing with a gold chain. I got my Turkish rope with matching gold things. Bomber jacket in the winter, it's a cold game. I met some East Coast up in Spokane. Some of the realest in this dope game. I got my curly top looking like special ed. Clean fade on the side, bumping that red head. Clean tags when I ride, ducking the feds. East Coast, they get that bread.
Just a gorgeous fall afternoon in the heart of Texas. No weather to speak of. Sun out, roof open. Yes, yes, and yes. A great day for football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the San Francisco 49ers and the Dallas Cowboys. Charles and I have been looking forward to this one all week, and we are underway from AT&T Stadium. Returning from his end zone is Ray McCloud. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Throwing here, Purdy. That's caught. He finds Danny Gray. And he is going to have a Niners first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this is an awfully tough route to defend in man coverage because he lines up on the right and then runs a crossing route back to the other side of the field. So as a defender, you're not only trailing him the whole way, you're also looking out for your own guys to make sure you don't get yourself picked off. And then you can't catch up in time to prevent the completion.
On first down, this is McCaffrey. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Last week we saw a rarity. He was over 200 yards on the ground, and they lost. So we'll see if they can get more carries like that and win this week.
And that was interesting watching the game tape, wasn't it? Because it was hard to register while we watched him pile up that yardage and create those nice runs that they didn't win the football game. But that doesn't mean changing what you do. Continue to feed him the football.
From just shy of midfield, Purdy, and trying to get it to Samuel, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Robert Spillane. And the Cowboys are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. So far this season, this defense has had their issues against the pass, so that's a great sign for them to get the early pick.
Yeah, confidence builder for them and an absolute shock for the quarterback because he went into it. He saw the numbers we saw. He watched them on tape. I think he came into this one thinking this is going to be a big day, and it very well could be. But early in this one, advantage defense.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Here's a quick throw by Dak, complete out wide. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. The Cowboys at 5-4 now on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Off the play fake, Prescott. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. They'll give it to Mixon. And only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8.
Not a whole lot there on 1st and goal, and that's what you're looking for defensively. You'll certainly live with giving up just a yard or 2 in this situation.
Here's 2nd and goal, operating from the 8-yard line. Here's Prescott. This goes out wide from Mixon, and he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, they'll use him a lot out of the backfield. He had 5 catches a week ago, and he makes another catch here for good yardage.
This defense hasn't let him in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. Mixon is in. Touchdown, Dallas. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
The point after is good, and that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds on the return. Not a great return. They'll start back around the 17. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here, because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they'll start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock. I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall, and they can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. They're looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Malik Hooker. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Well, we went from scoreless to 13-0 in a hurry. First, their offense had the touchdown, and now the defense comes through with one.
You can't get a better 1-2 punch than that. Fall for touchdown offense by getting one on defense. If they keep that effort up, you'll take the other sideline out of this one very quickly.
Point after, right down the middle, and it's now 14-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Play action. Now Purdy. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 23 yards the pickup there. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. McCaffrey running up the middle. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They get a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coach.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Andy Isabella, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. Here's McLeod from his end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he's going to have a Niners first down as he'll take this forward to the 27. (21-0) our score after 1. Purdy looking to throw on first down here. Short pass tip, but caught anyway. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
All right, you and I both know that was a lucky play, but again, I give him credit. Going up on the tip and catching that one.
Stayed with it, made his own luck, didn't he?
And he used his size there. Had a defensive back mentality to go up and get the ball on the tip. But used his size. I mean, tight ends going up and getting it. Sometimes they can knock people out of the way and finish the play.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, and now they go from 2nd and 2 to a tough 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Purdy now to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Mixon. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Prescott from the gun. Able to find Isabella. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A handoff, running left, Mixon. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the Cowboys continue to pull away here this first half. Point after here coming up. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throwing out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. They'll have to deal with a 2nd and 14 now after the loss. Purdy will set up to throw it here. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. A big completion there against double coverage. And Charles, one of those guys had a pick on him earlier.
Yeah, so he didn't allow that to deter him at all, did he? In fact, it probably was a challenge. Okay, you got a pick before? That's my turn now to make the big play. That's exactly what he did.
Well, he'll be tackled about 2 yards shy of the line to gain. A 1-yard pickup leads to 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
On 4th down, here's Purdy. He's going to have his running back. It's complete. And he is going to have the Niners first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the gut, McCaffrey. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Another run with McCaffrey on second down. And some space here. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Well, partner, I have to say they called him in the right defense there. Nickel set, fifth defensive back on the field, and they love to run against that because now you typically get a bigger blocker on a smaller defender.
Yeah, because those DBs like you, they want the interception. They're not as worried about the running play, right?
Not at all. I still remember being in school, and one of my offensive line teammates used to say, boy, I'd love to come downfield, hit you little people.
Good run there.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at first and goal.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. This is first and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. They'll try to run with McCaffrey. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Remember, as they try to run the ball down here, Charles, this is the #2 rush defense in the league.
So do you accept the challenge up front? Do you get your offensive line together, get your tight end in the ball game and say, I don't care that they're #2. Let's go ahead and show them that we can run the ball anyway? Or do you do the best thing and throw the darn thing and try and get in the end zone?
Maybe that's wiser. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a third and goal. Purdy looking to throw. That's caught by Deebo Samuel. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 5-yard touchdown catch. And the 49ers get a bit closer. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And it's now a 28-7 ball game. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now flags fly in, and one of the Cowboys looked like he got going a little early. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
47. 46.
To throw is Prescott. And this is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
Anger is on to punt, and he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Charles, you're down multiple scores, less than a minute left here, but with that deficit, they've got to try to at least work their way into field goal range to try to muster something out of this drive.
And I'm going to go ahead and date myself one more time because I'm going to quote an old Smokey and the Bandit lyric. They've got a long way to go and a short time to get there, but they still have time to get it done. So I'm looking forward to watching them mount this drive and see if they can get some points out of it.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. McCaffrey on the counter. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go play action here. Purdy. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, in a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Fields it right around the goal line. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Mixon will get it to start the second half. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
2nd and 9 now from the 21. Throwing, Prescott. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. But Dak Prescott, probably not the first name you think of in terms of strongest arms in the NFL, but he showed it off there. Mixon with a first down carry. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 48 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Isabella. Looking to throw again on second down. Prescott, touchdown! Joe Mixon from 6 yards away. And the Cowboys take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. CD, you know he's got great options at wide receiver, tight end, but there he looks to the backfield, and it results in a touchdown.
I love how you laid that out. So many options. You maybe forget about some of the ones that you should be covering. And they made them pay with that one, didn't they? You forget about the guys in the backfield, they're eligible too.
Extra point right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds. So really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. First and 10, and kind of tipping their hand at running the ball. 3 tight ends are out there. Purdy to throw it on first down. A quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make... successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now it's the backup Cousins. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here, 3rd and 10. Play action now. Cousins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
They just can't get out of their own way right now. It's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And this will be taken at the 13. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm, but I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Mixon. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. And this is going to be incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
Talk about angling that one perfectly, partner. We know the ball can bounce anywhere, especially how it's shaped. But that one, as if on cue, goes out of bounds perfectly.
Perfect indeed, right at the 1-yard line. Excellent coffin corner punt. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD. And if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the 22, Cousins. Looking for the out route. He's got it. Complete to Kittle. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Got his target, Samuel. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down. Shotgun handoff now to McCaffrey. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now to this point.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. McCaffrey again. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. 15 for the Niners there and a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. Now Cousins. And he will go down. A Cowboy sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Cousins. That's complete left side to Gray. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That was the 8th play of the drive, so a somewhat fitting pickup of 8 yards.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through training camp, OTAs, minicamp, and just regular season, they got it done on that one. An outcut, ball was delivered, and picked up the completion.
The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. Now Cousins. Looking for Gray and finding him once again. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the 1st at the 32. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Going for it, it's Mitchell. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. Kyle Shanahan, an offensive mind, but his guys stopped up short. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get him the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys' offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Back to Mixon on second down. And he'll get about 2 there to the 36.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. On third down, it's Prescott. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now fourth down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
151 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. A great run, but, you know, this is probably where the offensive coordinator is saying, geez, we could have used a couple of these earlier in the game.
Hey, he's probably telling the head coach, well, talk to the run game coordinator.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Ty Davis-Price, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Niners get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. Rodrigo Blankenship on for the PAT. It's good, and it's now 35-14.
Next to score, Cowboys 35, 49ers 14.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit, too.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. On play action, Prescott. This one caught by Isabella. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You can just go ahead and play.
They try to eat some clock with Mixon, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
49ers have an extra defensive back on the field, a nickel set for third down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He finds Austin complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 32-yard line. A good-looking drive for the Cowboys so far. It's a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They go back to the ground now with Mixon. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Well, Prescott here to throw. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott.